All right, let's begin. Good evening, everyone. Namaste. Good to see so many of you.
Namaste, Daaji. We have
Namaste, Aditya.
here the members of the Infinite Youth community from all around the world. We have around 980 members tuning in to this Zoom session, and we have some of the youth volunteers from around the world who are coordinating various communities in the region.
Hmm.
Some of the interest areas and projects they are leading. So they are all eager to meet with you.
I already feel so much of energy, unlike many other satsangs I have. And that's why I end up enjoying these sessions with the youth. Well, generally, I would begin with Q&A or something that I may have to share. But to tell you the truth, I have nothing to share. You are all, to me, self motivated individuals, and rarely you like to listen to others. Who are you to tell me what I should be doing and what should not be doing? So, my job really remains in indirectly sharing some of the ideas which may benefit you. Sometimes during the satsang, I give you the ideas as if it's coming from your heart. And you may take the credit and enjoy it and say, yes, I did it, and I'm thinking like that. But it's all coming from within yourself, from your higher self, which is in resonance with Babuji. So, whenever you do get inner prompt, write it in your diary and try and see how you can implement those inner inspirations from your heart. See? But I have often seen, even with my own children, you're not exception. I have two sons, and both have a different set of mindset. One fellow requires direct instructions. Another fellow says, "Dan, don't bother." And so I had to find a way how to convey the messages indirectly. Sometimes I share with them some of the jokes, sometimes the stories, but each time they catch me, say, "You told me this story because you want me to understand it this way." I say, yes, why would I waste time? So you could have said it directly. So now, direct and indirect also has become a problem for me. Sometimes when I quote them from Babuji and say, oh, Babuji used to say like this, oh, then they would say, stop preaching us. So we have the difficulties with not only, I mean, with everyone. People blame the youth that the youth is not listening, but it's not really, really true. It's not the only youth, but also you try to reason with your parents who are older, right? Would they listen to you? Very rare, very rare. So, in order for us to come on the same platform, same dimension, I had to resonate, I had to speak out from my heart, from the bottommost part of my heart, deepest corner of my heart. And when the listener is also listening from the deepest level of their being, then there can be a bridge we can build, we can come on a common platform. But my depth and your depth, or your depth and your father's depth, or your mother's depth, they're not same. So there will always be what we call differential in opinion, and which We have to respect that. We have to respect it with all our mind. Don't oppose it. Problem comes when you say, no, I will not listen. Tell them, Dad or Mommy, I do agree with you. Let me think over it. Instead of rebelling and fighting it out, then say, oh, no, you're so wrong. Then there are problems, I think, because believe you me, there is nobody who is more interested in your life than your own parents. But somehow we take panga with them. We think we have a living enemy in our midst, which is not the case, you see. You will realize it when you yourself will become parents. You can, let us say, if you want to judge your action, fast forward your life, and you think that you are yourself a grandmother or a grandfather. Okay, having done that, wearing a cap of a grandfather or a grandmother, you put yourself in front of you. Now you are a grandfather, and now you are a youth also, and have a dialogue with yourself. Would you like that? Or have your granddaughter or a grandson talk with you the way you are talking now with your parents or grandparents? Would that be okay? Would you, as grandma or grandpa, like what you are doing? Okay. Then you can say, okay, my action or my thoughts or my ideas are justifiable or not. It is not that all of us do not know what right thing and wrong thing is. We all are fully aware of it. But somehow, somewhere, this peer pressure, ego, my way of thinking prevails, and somehow it creates a lot of disturbance. But when we pause for a moment and meditate and see how I would think when I turn 80, then that will give you some idea of your thoughts and the direction in which you are proceeding. See, youth is, I think it's, we are neither there nor here. We are learning from our experiences. World would change immediately if we were born to learn from others' experiences. For example, if you can learn from others' mistakes, it would be great. But no, I have to make my own mistakes. Because there is a challenge, then there is some adrenaline rush in it and all that kind of a thing. Oh, I did it, it's my baby. Nothing wrong with that also. But there are three types of individuals, or maybe more types. But these three stands out a lot. One, who after making mistakes doesn't even realize that he has made a mistake. And even if someone tells him, look, you fool, you are making this mistake, you're going in a wrong direction. But you keep going and going and going until you hit the tragedy. And it's not that you don't know. Inside, everyone knows that I am making this mistake. For example, drugs, smoking, any sort of addiction. Everyone knows that this is not right, but you are helpless. Helpless to quit it. Because that dopamine rush, it's so pleasant, you can't do without it. Second category of individual who understands after making mistakes that yes, I made a mistake. He's quite honest. And at evening time, before finally retiring to bed, if you can make this resolution that yes, I made this mistake, but I will not repeat this again. There are two categories, no? One who makes mistakes and doesn't make any resolution. One who makes mistakes and also makes a resolution now that enough, I will not repeat this again. So there is some sort of transformation happening afterwards. Eh? Or another category can also come in the, oh God, sorry I made this mistake. I cannot promise you that I will not do this again, but I need your help. This will be a very honest thing to say, right? Another one, while committing an act, during the act, let's say you are driving and you are going in one direction, that you have to go to Goa from Bombay. And instead of that, by mistake, you took the Nasik road. Having traveled, let us say, 20 kilometers or 30 kilometers, you come to realize I am going in a wrong direction. You immediately change. Same thing. While you are, let us say, you are experimenting in your lab or you're reading a magazine. While reading a magazine, sometimes the photo on the article, it's so attractive, or the topic or the title of the article becomes so attractive. Oh wow, I got to read this one. And after you read one paragraph, you realize it's not going anywhere. The title is attractive, but let me drop this. You see, we all understand this. We face this every single day. Moment we realize this is not right, we drop it. Right? Another category of person, even before committing to any act, even before, mentally, when you meditate over what you're going to do next, you'll get the answer. So you don't have to waste that 20 kilometers or 30 kilometers in some directions. Or you don't have to waste half an hour reading a whole article and make nothing out of it. So you save actually a lot of time. Even the mundane thing of eating or what to cook next or what to watch next. If you give yourself a pause and there's some sort of a wakeful thought, awareful attitude towards yourself, should I do this? Should I do? And follow your heart. So you'll save a lot of time, I'm telling you. You'll save, and not only save time, but you'll end up doing something better. You'll choose something worthwhile. So pausing before you act is a great thing. So try and see how it can be helped. Once I was with Babuji, and I asked one question, Babuji, how to progress faster? Though this was not coming from my heart, such a question, I simply asked him because my preceptor, he used to tell me, when you visit Babuji, you keep him busy with a lot of questions. I said, okay, I'll do that. But then I asked him, why should I keep Babuji busy? He said, then he'll forget that you are there. You'll be sitting and he'll be sitting and he'll be gone and you'll still be sitting. I said, okay, so I have to keep him busy. So I made up a question since he was going lost in himself. So Babuji suddenly looks at me. And then when this question was posed to him, that how to progress faster, I almost bit my tongue because it was not my question. You see, my idea was to keep him busy. And I felt like slapping myself because the idea of progress was not there in my heart. Nevertheless, he replied, two words: constant remembrance. So afterward, there was a big pause again, and he was again going into himself. So Babuji, how to do constant remembrance? I tried to bring him back into conversation. So again, it was like a heavy burden for him to answer, but he nevertheless, with a smile, he answered, connect yourself. The next question was to Babuji, how to? Then he said, each time you begin your new work, connect yourself. So that's what I have been doing all my life. Even now, I sit, I connect with him. I talk, I connect with him. I get up and go, I connect with him. It doesn't have to be mental busyness with connection. It becomes automatic, actually. It becomes effortless after some time. But in the beginning, you'll have to try a lot. I often give this example of a child learning how to use bicycle. So what do parents do? They get a four-wheeler. Children get four-wheeler first. And there are two big wheels, and on the side there are supporting wheels so child won't fall down. See. Afterward, what happens? Parents would remove this supporting wheels and they will be on two wheels. Then you hold a child and you carry the child up to a block or so. And then child would get angry on you. Dad, leave me alone. And independence starts very early. And then you leave him alone and he falls. Dad, it's all your fault. You let me down. But anyway, this is how we learn. Many times we fell, bruised our knees, and learned how to bicycle. Simple thing like that. A time comes when you need no one's help. You're on your bike going to school, going with your friends on a bike, singing away songs. Sometimes you let lose your hands and cycle is going on its own. You see how we have moved from so much of efforts and then it became effortless. Spirituality, I think, also requires a lot of efforts in the beginning, but once it becomes your nature, then everything becomes automatic. It becomes your reflect action, as they say. While eating, you won't have to make a sankalpa that I am eating in the remembrance of God. No, it will simply happen. Remember the story of conception I have been sharing with you all. The same thing. You cannot fabricate and invite divine nature just before conception. It will not happen. Either you have it from very early age or you don't. You guys are very lucky. You still have long time before that moment of conception comes in your life, see. When you are preparing to become parents, why not from now? Start from now itself, though you don't have any partners. Some of you may have. But this is the time to prepare yourself so we become, I think, a right vehicle to invite noble souls in the family. Because procreative activities are, though enjoyable, if there was no enjoyment in it, nobody would procreate, perhaps. That's why God made it so attractive. Humanity will be lost in 2 or 3 generations if it was a laborious job. But on the other side of it, one has to make that act a divine act. And you cannot fabricate, as I said, you have to become divine yourself. And it doesn't take long. It really does not take long. Few months of heartfelt meditation will transform every cell of your body. And that's what we need. See, we don't want what we call artificial meditators. Oh, I had to be so nice. But today's youth, what I like the most is they're authentic. If they don't like it, they will not do it. Period. It's. I am glad that all of you are here because you are sincere, you are authentic, and you are seekers. You want to transform your life. So now, having decided that yes, I want to transform my life, put some more energy into it, more interest, more passion into it. See, often children they practice meditation so well. Sometimes even parents get scared because they have never done meditation. Some of the parents of our youth, they have never meditated in their life, and when they see their child so much driven to meditate, I think that's the moment I like to see. I'd like to see their face at that time. That, oh, my child is going so fast, and what am I doing? See, that will be wonderful to see, witness their face. You should take a camera and take their picture. You see, they'll say, "You're meditating." You should see their face. And when you say I had a samadhi, and they say, "I don't know what samadhi also means," then you say that you're wasting your life. That's a moment you can really taunt them, you can really make fun of them. You see, you are still there, but nevertheless, you still have a chance, Dad. You still have a chance to change and transform yourself. So I think such sort of making fun of them will be a wonderful thing to do. And for that, you'll have to be really, 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 really putting all your, uh, as to say, fuel into it. So what can I say? What any? You have any questions, Aditya?
Daji, we have some questions. I would request Aditi to just share them with you.
Oh, Aditi. Hello,
Aditi.
Aditi.
Namaste, Daji.
Namaste, ma.
Uh, Daji, everybody is so happy and joyous to see you here today. And we all have been waiting for last 2 days. And you'll be glad to know that most of the youth over here are the ones who have joined in last 1 or 2 years and have been so regular in volunteering with us in last 10 months, 11 months.
Mm.
Some have even begun practice, and like you just said, only they are Abhyasis in their families and their parents are not Abhyasis yet, and they're dedicatedly doing work in this youth forum. Yeah, I mean, all the faces that you see here, all these people, they have taken sittings in last 2 days, and they were eagerly waiting to welcome you and get whatever that you have to offer. I have a set of questions that they have given me. If you would like, Daji, I would like to call out their names and they would like to ask themselves. Would you want that to
And
happen?
that will be nice. That will be right thing to do.
Yeah. Okay, Daji. So there's a brother called Karthik. He's a catalyst. So Daji, in Infinite Youth and in the youth team, we have decided not to call each other as coordinators, and we call each other as catalysts. So he's a catalyst from Intuition subgroup, and he is based out of Canada now. So Karthik, could you please go ahead and ask your question to Daji?
Pranam Daji.
Pranam, Karthik.
It's really nice to be here, Daji. And so my question is, our generation today faces a lot of overload of information, which sometimes tends to be toxic, and it affects us somehow. So we do our meditation, but it is still affecting us. So how do we maintain the balance and prevent and stay out of this toxicity?
To me, answer to a lot of such issues, you know, for example, people talk of air pollution, people talk of water pollution, people talk of so many types of pollutions. Information has also become a pollution. Thoughts, we can say thoughts have also become pollution. I don't know if how many of you are familiar with this terminology, thought pollution. The root cause of everything to me is unregulated mind. Have you seen one movie where Julia Roberts, she acted in a movie, I forget the name. It's all about pollution, where one industrialist is pouring out this cancerous, toxic substances into water stream. And because of that, whoever drank that water ended up having cancer. And what was the main reason behind it? Because it costed so much to remove these toxins into it. So the idea ultimately was profit making. Greed was at the base of it all. So I have also witnessed, I used to work after my graduation in pharmacy. I started working in first pharmaceutical company called Euphoric Pharmacy in Ankleshwar, very close to my hometown. Some of the industrialists there used to pour out their effluents directly into bore wells. They would not do any treatment also. It will straight away go into the ground. So what used to happen then, the water around Ankleshwar became like Coca-Cola water, undrinkable. Again, the root cause of all this, financial gain, greed. If you make them drink that Coca-Cola water, they'll be scared to drink it. See. And I'm sure many things are happening under our government officials' nose, yet they look the other way. Looking the other way also is mainly because of financial gain. Their salary may be 30,000, 40,000, maybe 1 lakh. But if they look the other way and the industrialist gives him 10 lakhs every month, so this information overload, who is pouring into you? Nobody is pouring into you. You're wide open. You are like sponge. You try to see some news on Google News Media, perhaps, but this news is not in your control. You have to read everything. Social media, the same thing, whether it appeals to you or not, just because you don't feel like missing it out, what they call fear of missing it out, right? FOMO. We are suffering with this FOMO. So we go on gathering this information. But imagine an industrialist who meditates, or a government officer who meditates regularly, or a person who is regularly meditating. Will he or will his mind tolerate such creases in their minds and hearts? You might wonder, okay, I did this yesterday, I put some toxins into the groundwater. After a month, it continues. How long will you tolerate this nonsense in your heart, which is so now exposed to spirituality? It will not tolerate it. One day it is better to close my industry than to make this water polluted. So the conscientious heart, when we meditate regularly, the heart becomes very susceptible to right kind of a thing. It will not tolerate any wrong things. Even before you argue, before you try to fight with somebody unnecessarily, you'll think many times. Only when we lose this inner compass, which is directed in an evolutionary way, when it changes its face and moves towards opposite direction that is not so evolutionary, then you will feel hurt. You say, oh no, this is not for me. So, in Hindi we say, ek sade, sab jaye. Meaning, try to do something, one thing in such a way that having solved that main problem, you have solved all other problems in life. And that is only this mind. If I can regulate my mind, if I can make my mind and heart sensitive to my inner needs as well as the external needs, the family members, friends, etc., then I can really live a balanced life. I will not be hungry for more and more information. I'll be hungry for, of course, something that can help me evolve faster. That does not mean that we are running away from work. That does not mean that we are running away from business world. Career is there in front of us. We have to fulfill our career. We have to become extraordinary as far as career is concerned. We should not forget that, see. But this material life of making money, etc., has to be spiritualized. So they will go together. We are not trying to lead a separate life, that this segment of my life will be spiritual, this segment of my life will be material, bhautik as they say. No. Then we will be failing in purpose. We need to integrate both. Let spirituality touch our material existence so much that it ultimately consumes us totally. So even while I'm working, cooking, playing games, or making love, there is spirituality all the way through. So information overload also will be filtered out through such a mind. So cultivating a mind that will repel everything else. We're talking about vaccine, for example. What is vaccine? Vaccine creates enough of antibodies in your system to fight against a particular disease. These days we are searching for a right vaccine, right? COVID vaccine. Once you have it, enough of dose and enough of antibodies are floating in your bloodstream, it will protect against COVID. But let us say after some time, new mutation happens and new mutant has arrived on the field. It will not, it will not be able to penetrate the shield that is created by the antibodies because it's a new mutant. Again, you have to have another antibody dose developed through another vaccine. Right? But nevertheless, vaccines are beneficial. See. It will also reduce, suppose if you had a COVID after vaccination, it will reduce the amount of infection, what they call damage that one can have. It will be reduced considerably. See. Now, to me, having a mind which is so poised and balanced is equivalent to vaccinations. When you have a balanced mind, nothing in the world can affect you. You are well vaccinated, say. This balancing of mind it can happen only through meditation, nothing else. I'm really fully convinced.
Thank you, Daji.
Thank you,
Daji,
Daji.
the next question is from Jharna. Jharna is actually a catalyst, and she is from the youth social media team.
Pranam Daji.
Charna,
Yes.
bolo.
Daji, the next question from our youth community is, how does one tackle emotional outbursts like heartbreak, loneliness, self doubt?
You're a catalyst. I'm also a catalyst. Outbursts, emotional outbursts, sinking with emotion, loneliness. It's a common thing these days. I think COVID has gifted us with this. And it's not just COVID that we can blame it today. We also suffered. Somehow humanity is meant to suffer. You know, when you had good times, we misused those good times and created a lot of mess around us. Loneliness, when you are in the companion, let us see what it means when Babuji says, connect yourself. When he says constant remembrance, what it means to me is I'm always with him, I'm never lonely. Right? So, associating yourself with such a master of caliber can totally remove loneliness. You can be alone, but you are never lonely. You will be in a group. You'll be all alone by yourself, even in a group, but connected with such a higher personality who keeps guiding you all the time. See? When you're listening, when you're talking, when you're eating, you're sleeping, always keep him in your heart and mind, and you're never lonely. See? And I have nothing to do with the world in a way one would expect, oh, somebody has to fulfill my desire. You know, why do you have outbursts? Because, first of all, it's personal weakness that I end up having outbursts. This is my weakness. Somebody names me and I get excited and feel like slapping the other person. That is my weakness. Let other person say whatever they want to say. But when I'm in control with myself, I think I rule. I'm not a servant at that moment. When you respond with emotional outbursts, you have become a slave. So take charge of yourself and say, okay, you know, Babuji would say, it's like an elephant walking merrily, enjoying, you know, that walk. Dogs, they go on barking. Imagine elephant losing his emotions, getting into outbursts with a dog. No, why should I fight with a dog? Say, you are much bigger than all this. In family also, when you are having a company of such a personality backing your life all the time, be confident, you see. You will succeed. And that confidence is there. You can always laugh at some things, you know. So, in one go, by associating yourself heartfully with a master of caliber, I think you will be able to resolve many issues in life. It's not just loneliness, not just this or that, but when you become grandma also and start having all kinds of problems from your grandchildren, you'll be able to steer them in the right direction. It's again because of this heart and mind combo, which is spiritually, which is spiritually inclined. See, okay.
Thank you, Daji.
Thank you, Jarna.
Thank you, Daji. Uh, Daji, we have about 1,300 youth who are listening to you right now, and there are questions pouring in.
My
Um,
God,
if you're if you're happy, we have only few more questions.
go
Can we
ahead.
go ahead? Thank you, Taji. Taji, next question is from Rutwa. Rutwa is our catalyst from wellness team, the youth wellness team.
Hello,
Uh,
Rutwa.
Namaste.
Namaste, Ben.
Yeah, so I have a question. In Babuji in Whispers have said everything is already planned. So if everything is already planned, our destiny is also. So why do we pray and how can we change our destiny?
This is a very important question, actually, which we all face in everyday life. It sounds somehow paradoxical that if my destiny is fixed, why should I meditate? Why should I study? Why should I work? Why should I even cook? Food will come anyway, right? So when he's talking of plans, they're talking of bigger schemes like evolution of human race. It will happen at the right time. Now, when you're talking of a bigger plans like that, it does not come under individual choices, individual freedom, or individual destiny. There's a group destiny they are working with. You see. So when Babuji talks about the plan of human race evolution, it's different ball game. See, personally, for me, I have to act. Of course, because of my past impressions, I am steering my life into the future because of my past. So, to that extent, based on my karma, based on my samskars, I am enjoying my life going ahead into future, right? But at the same time, my current life is being influenced by so many people. For example, you are in love with someone and you want to marry that person. This is out of the samskaras, which is guiding you to marry somebody. But your father says, no, you see, we are Shahs. You cannot marry a Singh. You are in trouble, then see. Now your destiny is being manipulated, it's being changed. So I give this example to religious people who believe that everything is destined. No, nothing is destined in our life. We have a fixed what we call destiny. At the same time, destiny that can be changed by other influences, including ourselves. For example, Lord Rama, when he married Sita, before that, it was told by Rishi Vasishtha and Vishwamitra also that there is no better match than this. This couple is the ideal, but they suffered like hell. They went into forest for 14 years. After having come back, she had to undergo tests after tests to prove her, what we call holiness, that she was not touched by others, etc., etc. She had the most miserable life, and later on, Lord Rama also suffered so much that he walked into the river Saryu and ended his life. Now, when the destiny was fixed with, astrologically speaking, that it's a perfect match, and yet both ended up having extraordinary, unnatural death. Our lives are influenced in so many ways. We were supposed to go in some particular health way. Overall, heartfulness movement was catching up so nicely worldwide. We were going from place to place and carrying out all these heartfulness messages. Suddenly comes COVID. Originates God knows from where. There is a controversy there too, that it was United States research, and when it was denied that it cannot do the research in United States, they took up another welcoming host, China. They welcomed it and say, okay, we give you $3 billion, you can do the research in our lab. And that's where it started. This is one story. Another story is pangolin. The Chinese are fond of eating pangolin, and pangolin transferred this particular virus. But pangolins are there for millions of years. People ate pangolin before also. So I'm more inclined to believe that it's a man-made virus. And now you see one man's intelligence, so-called, creates such a virus and changes the destiny of the entire planet. Take another example. Did millions of Jews deserve such a death at the hands of Hitler in Germany? No. But the destiny was completely changed by one man's crazy idea. So destiny is always fluid. It's like our system. You see, if you are a biology student, you will understand what I'm saying, that our genetic pattern, we have genomes and we have epigenomes. Genomes are fixed. You cannot change a bit into this genomic expression. If you're going to grow 5'5", you will grow 5'5". If you're going to have black hair, you're going to have black hair. You cannot have blonde hair. Similarly, our destiny, or we have a fixed destiny like genome, but epigenome part of genes, it can be changed minutely to a certain extent. You can manipulate that. So we have that freedom in when we think particular way, when we act in particular way, we can change the course of our life that would have gone in one particular direction. So there is no easy answer, because there are no two Rutvas, or there are no two individuals or Jarna, right? So Jarnas might think that, okay, let me marry this boy and my life will be like this. And the same Jarna says, let me marry this boy, and the life is going parallelly at the same time. Then you can differentiate that this is as per my desire and this is as per my father's influence. But we are not two individuals. We are unique beings, and our life has to be governed by our heart's instincts. And heart will never fail us. When you meditate more and more, your heart will speak to you louder and louder. And more you listen, it will speak to you openly. And more you tend not to listen, it will become heavier and your life will become a burden. Haven't you seen that when your heart says something and you say, hey, shut up, let me do this anyway? Then you end up having regrets. And I have seen over a long life that I have lived that mistakes, I have made many, but each mistake was made when I did not listen to my heart. And when I listened to my heart and just flowed with it, there were no regrets. There was simple joy in it. Whenever we are doing right thing, heart will never express itself and say, wow, congratulations, you are doing a right thing. Now, when you're breathing properly, our lungs don't congratulate us. Your heart doesn't congratulate, oh, you're breathing so well. But the moment you have asthma, you have difficulty breathing, you have a COVID and you can't breathe well, then you'll say, wow, something is wrong, I need oxygen. I need to go to hospital now. So whenever anything unnatural happens, which is not good for me, heart will always speak louder. But we pay a big price when we don't listen to our hearts. You see. That's why heartfulness, where to make our lives happier, is just follow your heart. Nothing great is really required in following the heart. Just follow it. When you want to do a wrong thing, then you have to plan a lot, you see. No? Okay. Next question, please.
Thank you, Taji. Taji, next question is from our dear brother Sarvanan. He is a youth catalyst from the design team.
Pranams, Daji.
Pranams Bhaiya.
Daji, the question from my youth community is sometimes the action, reaction we give to things at work contradict what we learn from meditation and follow in our personal lives, like judging or being neutral. But situations at work usually call for strong opinions.
Strong opinions need not be wrong opinions or something which is not coming from the heart. You see, we give what is authentic, what you feel in your heart that this is right or wrong. That's all. In business world also, there are kinds of people who often go away or enjoy so much of luxury with bosses because they do wrong things. But these are all temporary. Even if they may survive 2 years, 3 years, 20 years, but the end will not be good. People who are looking up to the interest of the company, the work, and when you're authentic about it, even boss will appreciate that, yes, Sarvan, whatever Sarvanan is saying is correct. So always express your heartfelt opinion. When mind wants to take over and you want to impress the boss, then it's a different story, you see. But then too, you realize that, oh, I'm trying to prove a point. I want to subdue the other person's opinion. So, no. So, spirituality again comes to our rescue. It helps us that, okay, I should not be so much carried away because of my egoistic ideas. So I have to differentiate whether I'm interested in welfare of the company or whether I'm trying to impose my own ideas. So it's a great thing actually. Such challenges are good. Such challenges will make us even stronger. Imagine everything are going so well and people are listening and blah, blah, blah. Then there is no fun. How will you grow in such environment? You need challenge. Challenges are naturally provided by work environment and again your family environment also. Not all families have harmony. They look apparently happy, apparently luxurious, apparently affluent. But when you deep down see the inner life of each of these members, you feel sorry, you feel sad. They all live in their illusions that possessions will protect them. I'm not against possessions. You know, Master used to say, if you can make crore, go ahead and make 10 crores. If you have the ability to make 10 crores, make 100 crores. It's okay to make tons of money. Use it wisely. Okay.
Thank you, Taji, for the answer. Taji, next question is from our dear sister Annalise. And Annalise is our active youth from Europe. And she's been taking care of the science and spirituality subgroup also.
Hello, Annalise. Where are you?
Hello, I'm in Sweden.
Okay. Hello.
Yes, hi. Yeah, our question is how can we boost our self-confidence and self-love?
What has helped me is again my trust and faith in myself. Confidence, when do I lose confidence in myself? When do I stop loving myself? Both are connected. See, when I fail again and again, you start hating, oh, how can I do such a thing? So the failures, after failures, you start blaming yourself that, oh, I failed and I failed and I failed, and you start disliking your thoughts, disliking your actions. So again, in order to avoid these various failures, one has to become more contemplative before we implement any actions. I recommend a great book which I read many, many years back called As a Man Thinketh. I will share this book in PDF form with Aditi. She can mail you this book, it's free, and you please read it. You see, I will start with the last page of the chapter and come to the first page. I'll put it in a very simple way that he says, excuse me. Why do you feel sad? And why do you feel happy? When things goes as per your desired trajectory and things happen because you wished it like that and it happened like that. Like water went in different channel. And when things don't happen according to my action, which I planned for, I become sad. So the results of my action decides whether I'll be happy or unhappy. And the results of my action depends on how well I planned my action. And how well I planned my action depends upon my thoughts, how I played my game in my mind. And the kinds of thoughts I regulate in my mind depends upon my attitude. Now it becomes a vicious cycle. First, I will speak in Hindi how this gets related. In fact, he says thoughts are the main thing. Thoughts leading to actions, actions leading to results, results leading to either or. But he did not write about what precedes thoughts. Vrittis, we call in Hindi, or attitude or tendencies. Tendency is the right word. And why do I have the tendency to think in a particular way, to act in certain way? Because this tendency I have created because of my repeated past actions and thoughts and environment. So, vritti leads us into a particular level of pravritti. Attitude defining your actions, pravritti. Pravritti will lead you to another thing that makes your nature, what we call prakriti. You repeat things again and again, that becomes your second nature. What we call आपका प्रकृति ऐसा हो गया because आपका प्रवृत्ति ऐसा है. आपका प्रवृत्ति ऐसा क्यों है? Because आपका वृत्ति ऐसा है. So vritti leading to pravritti leading to prakriti. And from prakriti we create our own prarabdha, our destiny. So these are all connected. See. How to regulate our tendencies. That's where heartfulness comes into picture. More and more cleaning we do, we are able to remove some scars, impressions. We are slowly getting deconditioned. So far, we have been conditioned in particular way. Now we want to erase that. We want to decondition ourselves. So when the emotional baggage that we carry guides in a particular direction, when that emotional baggage is removed, you are able to have what Zen or Buddhism calls beginner's mind, fresh mind, meaning you don't have any biases, you don't have any preconditioning. You may have had a fight with somebody, and you may have done a really, really bad thing to that other person. But you wish from inside that I wish this person will not carry such a bad impression about me in his heart. But same thing is true for us also, no? Why should I be carrying others, impressions about others? So I have to free myself from all kinds of impressions. Impressions are of two types again. Many people they argue with me that somebody had cheated me in the business world or in relationship. So this cheating has two aspects to it. One is that you form emotional baggage. Also, it also has what we call cognitive baggage. You always remember that so and so has done that to me. This memory part is there. That's what we call cognitive memory of so-called cheating. But there is emotional memory also. We call samskars. If somehow I let go of this, I still have cognitive memory, cognitive baggage, which will help me. It frees me up when I forgive the other person. I don't have samskaras about that event. But cognitive memory makes me more careful not to trust this person in business world or in relationship. So we do learn something. Though we have forgiven the past. Cognitive memory is always good. See? That when somebody sneezes and I also inhale that, I get COVID, for example. It's a memory, both kinds of memory. When you suffer at the same time, next time you'll be wearing a mask. So we learn from all these things. In relationships also, we may forgive, but the cognitive part of it will come to our rescue for the rest of our life, that not to repeat the same thing again. So I think we have spent a lot of time, 1 hour.
Yes, Taji.
Okay.
Thank you. Uh,
Thank
Thank you, Taji, for answering the questions. Um, and there was some more. We will email them to you because everybody has been pouring smiles and messages thanking you and saying that, Taji, please take rest and take good care of yourself. And just one thing, Daji, before if you're offering us satsang now, there is a common message that everybody wants to hear from you. Just one last thing is, what are the three most important things that you would like to tell the youth to follow on into the journey of now infinite youth under this new banner going forward? And
practice, practice, and practice. Three things. Right?
absolutely.
Let me ask you a question. Have you guys thought of having this heartful communications sessions, or have you done it?
Yes. Yes, Daji, it's happening in batches.
Good, good, good. That will be great. I think it's the biggest thing you can have in life. Listening with love and speaking with love. So that's all.
Absolutely, Daji. We'll ensure everybody goes there.
And when you have confrontation, don't try to prove yourself, including your practice. Oh, heartfulness is so great. You don't have to prove it to anybody. You do it yourself and let it settle in your own heart. Others will see how you're advancing. And that too, we need not worry, because when we practice, it will happen. And through this constant remembrance, our practice becomes 24/7. See, and when we introspect at bedtime for our wrongs, and we're making resolution that never again, that also helps. And even when we have done the right thing, and when we introspect again at night and say, okay, how can I make it better next time? Offering prayer just before bedtime also will change the sleep pattern, you see. So I wish you all sleep really, really well. Sleep is a major thing in everyone's life. Sleep well. Okay, let's meditate now. Huh? We will meditate for half an hour. And Aditi, you can say that's all at the end of half hour. I'll begin and terminate the session from my end. But the sitting will continue.
Okay, Daji.
If any of your friends or relatives or family members want to meditate now, you can invite them and I begin in 5 minutes. What do you say?
Perfect, Daji. We'll do
Okay.
that.
That's Myra. Hello, Myra. She is our catalyst from Colombia. See? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Is
Daaji,
beyond.
thank you. Let's do it. Let's meditate together. And
Yeah.
we'll let everybody know to join us in our communities, in our countries. Big
Okay.
sitting coming. Mhm.
Okay. Let's meditate.
That's all. Okay. Thank you all for joining this session.